Hey, my name is Michael Fomkin, and welcome to VisionCraft Coffee in the Greenroom. And I am here today with Mike Calhoun. He is a visionary, an entrepreneur, a great friend of mine, and I have been dying to do this for so long to have him on the show. And he is here today, and he is also the founder and CEO of Board of Advisors. Michael Calhoun, welcome to the show. We got you here.
I love this guy. This guy is so good. You understand posturing, positioning, the way to take anyone, build a character around them, make them feel great about it. You put gas in people's tank.
I love that. Well, that's my job. For 18 years, we've been networking and connecting people in the entertainment industry. And now we work with authors and storytellers and entrepreneurs. And you've opened up my world to so many great people. Not only so many great people, but I really consider you like a mentor. Like, it's like anytime I have a problem, I have an issue, it's like literally, there are times we've been going back and forth at midnight, 2 a.m,
Oh yeah.
bouncing ideas off of each other. Like, tell the audience, like a little bit about yourself and like who is Mike Calhoun? Right? Like, you literally came into the studio today. You just lit up the room. You have such an incredible presence. You're that attractive character that so many entrepreneurs drive to be. You have a phenomenal presence on stage. So kind of fill us in, like, how did Mike Calhoun become Mike Calhoun?
Honestly, it's probably the same as everyone else. It evolves over time, and it isn't necessarily something that you don't just decide one day you're going to be this, that, or the other. I mean, I think people, especially when there is some success involved or there's some sort of accomplishment that people think, hey, he's known or she's known for this or that, you just start by doing. I feel like I'm a great doer. And that first thing turns many times into the next thing, and people start to acknowledge you for, currently what is potentially being done. And then they open up doors for you. You step through them, and those relationships are fostered, they grow. And before you know it, you are arriving on a platform that took, 20, 25 years to build. And you look back and you're even asking yourself, how did I get here? And I never even made like that choice. Hey, I want to be there. It's just making good, small decisions and putting out a lot of effort. So if I were to say, who am I would just say I am a very diligent worker. I exude Herculean effort in almost anything that I do. And I find passion. I'm able to find passion and energy around almost anything as well, because I can see the positive in it. Like you, when we met, one of the first things that I did was I listened, and I started to determine where the gold is, the natural talent, where you really brought value to the table. And that for me is like, okay, now I know where I want to invest my time with Michael. Now I know when Michael calls me, we're going to have a good conversation. I think it's just really looking for where is the value and then expanding on it. And for me, that's who I am. That's what I like to do. If it's even when nobody is around and I'm talking to the guy that's bagging the groceries, or, just looking for the good and how to expand in that person.
That's so interesting that you say that, because when I first met you, and even talking to, people in your inner circle and, common relationships that we had, there's this one common denominator that people always say about you. And they always say that you lead from the heart and that you always bring tremendous value. And I think, especially myself, like a lot of times you meet like up and coming entrepreneurs, and it's always they kind of come to you like, well, I need this and I need that, or help me with this or help me with that. Versus like when you bring value to the person, it's like really opens up the relationship. And like I see, like sometimes I'm almost like Mike brings so much value, right? Even myself, sometimes like, oh, should I call him because I need this? Wait a second, I'm being that person who's being needy. What can I do for Mike? How do I bring Mike value? Because Mike just brings so much value to the table, right? Like you're always able. There's like not a single time where he couldn't call you and you don't have a connection to solve a problem, whatever it may be. You have that person that you're able to reach out to. Or plus, because of the fact that you've been doing this for so long, you have a lot of wisdom now. You have like a lot of knowledge. You've seen different types of businesses. You've seen how they've run. You've seen what made business successful. You've seen where businesses have failed. and you've now recognized those patterns,
Mm-hmm.
and you're able instantaneously to see those patterns. Even yourself, when we had that conversation, you were saying, what's the value, and what I can bring to the table, or what value can we work together in a relationship? It was based upon like that pattern recognition. Right. So like if somebody was like if they're listening to this and they're a brand new entrepreneur, or they've reached that certain level, maybe 7 figures or something, like what is, like, from your opinion, your advice, like what are like the things that an entrepreneur could focus on? Like what do they need to focus on to kind of reach that next level? Everyone's always wanting to reach that next level. Like what are the things that you've noticed working with so many like phenomenal individuals?
Well, and that's a complicated question, but we'll dig into it. I think an entrepreneur, just say, not a new one, but one that has maybe been in the game for a couple of years. They've created activity. They've created some momentum. They've tried a few things. There's some experience there. And many times that cart keeps moving a little faster because entrepreneurs have ideas and they keep putting ideas in their cart over and over and over. Before they know it, that cart's full of ideas and they're trying to get a lot done with still the same cart. And I feel that that's good because they've got exposure, they have experience. But what I would recommend is get very decided on what is now most meaningful going forward. So, in racing, they say slow is smooth and smooth is fast, right? So there is a point where you're kind of out of school as an entrepreneur. You've been through maybe your first or second kind of attempt at building something. And now you've got enough experience to say, look, I can figure out what is best for me going forward. And where I would recommend that they start is look at their Rolodex, take inventory on their relationships, the experience that they've been able to procure, and begin developing a vision. And that's not something you sit down and do at the table. That's something that you do daily, weekly, monthly, but develop a vision that is authentically in alignment with things that expand on what you're really good at. So, if you're really good at X, Y, or Z, it's going to be easy to be amazing at it, right? But getting rid of the stuff that distracts you and dilutes you many times is difficult. A lot of times, you know, in BA, I see individuals doing something that I think, hey, I could do that. I could do that business. I could be involved. I could invest. I could partner. But what I have to realize is cross check. I'm the platform. BA is the platform. We provide the playing ground. My job is to do that better. And if I do get involved, I don't get involved with my time. I may get involved with my dollar, with potentially resources, but just getting focused. It's okay to go out and try a bunch of stuff, but at a certain point, it's time to get focused. It's time to get decided. And it's time to start crafting a vision as an owner, founder, CEO that others can buy into. Because if there's not this picture where it's big enough for them to see themselves in it, even as a customer, not just working for or with you, but the customer needs to see themselves. The investor needs to see themselves. The team needs to see themselves. And you need to see yourself at the beginning or the head of that, right? So I think as a founder, owner, CEO, really getting clear on that North Star, because if you are a true leader, your job is to bring every action, as Elon Musk says, every decision I make is one that helps me get closer to, being on Mars. Well, there you go. That's his thing. What is your thing, right? What is that North Star? And can you describe it? Can you cast that vision clear enough where somebody can say, wow, that's what I want to be involved. I want to follow that. That right there is so big and so clear and so well thought through. It's better than what I've even done for myself. So I now want to follow Michael Fomkin.
I love that. That was phenomenal. That analogy too about the cart and just how many times entrepreneurs just overfill it with weight, with all those ideas, and that holds people back. That's really such a breakthrough for myself because I've seen myself in that same exact situation so many times, just, want to come up with those ideas. Now, with the board of advisors, like obviously you run these amazing events, right? These networking events, you meet these incredible people, and you're always elevating them. Like from the very first event, I walked into the room, I was just blown away.
Hmm.
I was just, this is incredible. And it's like you're like literally the center of this universe. And then you're always elevating. The next event was better. The next event, the upcoming event, I'm so looking forward to it. I think there's like race cars and race tracks and all kinds of exciting things that are going to be going on there, and including meeting all these incredible people. But how do you like? What is it that you're most excited about right now? Like, what project? Like, what is it that you're most excited about that always drives you every day to make these events better? Like, you have something that's so perfect, but yet you're always making it better, right? You're always pushing it even further. Tell me a little bit about that drive.
Just imagine, right? If we use let's use our creative freedom to imagine bringing people into a world, onto a platform where they may see themselves. Let's just pick something simple. They own a salon. They have they understand how to treat a customer. They understand how to cut the hair. They understand what that environment should look like. Why do they not potentially have more of those helping more people? Why do they potentially not educate people on how to do that same experience? There's education opportunity there. There's expansion opportunity there. There's intellectual property there. There's brand opportunity there when done right. There's real estate opportunity there because it is an actual physical location. There is so much going. When you take something simple, just like a salon, how could that become sophisticated? How could it become something that is a big vision that includes and gives a lot of people opportunity? I love to bring in an owner, crack the coconut, show them how this could be something that brings impact and opportunity for others. And then I bring others to their table where now I'm watching them grow and I get to sit back and you talk about the event. I get to watch these individuals. Many times that's what I do. I get to watch them collaborate. I see them light up. I hear them talk about what they're doing, what they're going to do, how they just got a full tank of gas of inspiration because we run on our inspiration. We do not seek it. We generate. We're like, as entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs, we generate. We're like nuclear reactors. We are generating our own inspiration, but sometimes you got to throw a little of the right ingredients in there so it re-kicks. Bringing people together and creating collisions. If you look at the culture code, you bring the right people together with the right mindset, there is a reaction that transpires. And my job is to make it in a positive manner where neither one of them are the same. There was a realization, there was an opportunity, there was clarity, there was focus, there was knowledge transfer, experience transfer. There was something that happened when they walk away from that event. They are different and they are in a better direction and they have better people on their team. So for me, that is a reward to build a container that can accomplish that. That doesn't necessarily mean I did that. I didn't necessarily do that between them. I created the container, I created the environment, I created the context where they come onto that platform and it is a guided conclusion that turns into reality. For me, that is exciting. What keeps me up at night is how do I enroll people into my vision? How do I get them to be part of my team? How do I have a big vision for where we want to take this and how we can be at the dinner table in every major city, creating conversation between owners, founders, CEOs that want to build businesses, create products, create platforms, develop services that are wildly impactful in their local area. But how does that actually happen if you don't have the right team? So at a certain point, it's less It's not about me. And then it's sometimes, and this might sound incorrect, but it's not even about the member. It's about the team and the leadership and the strategic partners that help you build into that vision, which then gives those members the opportunity.
Love that. That is so powerful, so deep. Like even from my experience, like well, yeah, we use a different terminology, but we call it like a pre-frame, like how you pre-frame things, whether it's an employee, a client, a customer, and set those expectations and then over deliver. It just like creates like a community, a family, like your BA, you've created such a wonderful community, and they're so like very high powerful, high profile, they're very competitive. They're the alpha leaders, right, of the pack. How do you manage all those personalities like in a room?
It honestly, in the very beginning, I was not sure. So I only did what I thought I wanted. What I didn't actually in the very beginning understand was I am the ideal customer profile. I truly understand that now. But then I wasn't sure what to do. So I did what I thought I would want if I were coming into something like this. And I also followed the guidance of a relationship that gave me a lot of fundamental structure. Get it on the calendar. There's some bones of how does this come together, and then the nuances of the experiences. What would I want? What would make this valuable to me? And I think that's something that anyone out there, if you're developing something, if you're doing it for you, it's going to resonate with people like you. What's your name? Your name's Michael. My name's Michael. That's weird. So if I do it for me, it's going to attract people like me. I didn't do it so that I could sit in the room. I did it so that I was happy with it because I feel that I demand excellence. I demand performance. I demand detail. I demand quality. I demand something that is exceptional for myself. Therefore, if I can do it good enough for me, I think it's going to be good enough for them. That's where I think everyone should start. If I were an artist and I did something that I was proud of, that I would put in my house, that potentially for me, I love it. That's when it becomes valuable because everyone else out there that's like me wants it. When I try to develop something around what I think they want, usually it's subpar. So in our environment, within our brand, I always ask, if I were to go to the next meeting, what would I want to see? What would I want to do? Do I want to be in the same hotel that we've been in potentially for the last 5 years? It's tough to change that over and over and over, meeting after meeting. Now there's an expectancy, there's a routine, there's positives. But one thing that I can tell you is an enthusiast in something, think about it, automotive enthusiasts are passionate. Forget about the car. The car isn't sometimes an ego thing. Sometimes it's an enthusiast thing. Forget about the car. Understand the context and the spirit of an enthusiast. It's all in for an extra portion of a second for performance. A race car is built to do one thing. Actually, two things. To do one thing and not to do one thing. To go as fast as it can without flying off the track.
Uh-huh.
Right? So when we build our businesses, if we're focused on our product, our customer, our service, the best we can, right? Without screwing it up, it's very similar to the context of that enthusiast. That enthusiast demands performance, the details, and the simplicity. Think about it. A race car or a performance car goes fast because they've taken the garbage out of it that weighs it down. Everything unnecessary is gone, which makes it better in the terms of performance. So I think it's a mindset thing. I think it's a context thing. I think it's something that, for me, I like to design around what I'm passionate about because there's another aspect of that. If I don't, then I don't even like it. And why would I want to be there? And you're going to feel it. But if I'm lit up in that, if I am in that environment and I'm lit up, guess who else is lit up? You always say, Mike, you have all this energy. Where do you get it? You give me a lot of compliments. Do you know where I get it? I'm putting gas in my tank so I can put gas in your tank. It's called transfer.
Wow. Really amazing content here. Now you're an expert, like your branding is just always on point. Let's talk a little bit about like your thoughts on branding, right? You're always, from your marquees to your pens to just all those the little details.
Yeah.
But like you created this like amazing brand. Tell us like your thought process. Like when you wake up, like the next part, like how are you doing that? Like where's that creativity coming? Like what is the patterns you're following? What is the rule book, right? What is the playbook in Mike Calhoun's branding guide?
So a brand is just like a spear. And I learned this. We did a partnership with Adobe Microsystems, built thousands of online businesses all across US and Australia in a time where everyone was trying to get their business from brick and mortar to online, and how was it presented? And many times, if they had a business, they didn't really have a great logo. They didn't really have a website. They didn't even have a color palette. They didn't have anything that was a deliberate, concentrated thought of that's how my brand should look, or that's how my business should look, or that's the face of my organization. They didn't have that. So that's usually where we started. And then what we realized is they have no idea what they're doing. And then what we realized is I don't have time for them to figure out what they're doing. So that we would just develop it so that we could hand it to them, so that they would love it the first time, so that we could move on with the project. So it was, for us, it was kind of that necessary, evil to move on with the project so we could complete the project, get paid, so forth. But that's also like Karate Kid. Remember Karate Kid?
Mm-hmm.
Wax on, wax off. Why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you know how many times I asked, why am I doing this? I have probably one of the sexiest bald spots to prove that many times I had no idea why I was doing what I was doing, and the stress that I went through, and I did it anyway because I knew there was something on the other side. I had no idea what it was, but what it was is it made me a very unique individual. Without formal training, experience carved that out of my marble. And now, looking back, it's super easy to be able to see somebody put something into their brand because it's memorable on first point of contact. Usually, people are forgotten. First point of contact, they have no way to be remembered because they put no work into it, or they didn't get somebody who knew what to do, right? So think about this. When I said a brand is the tip of the spear, if I threw a ball at that wall, it's going to bounce off. But if I threw a spear at that wall, it's going to stick right in it. So is your brand something that will stick to the wall? Otherwise, you're done. You're out. If I go into the mastermind space, which, by the way, if you know what you're doing, mastermind, the word mastermind isn't a good word. It's a great concept. It's a cool word. But merchant accounts don't like it. Email inboxes don't like it. You say mastermind, many times people have done it wrong so many times that it potentially has the wrong connotation. But if you say board of advisors, well, what's the difference? We're doing the same thing. People come together as a board of advisors to contribute to each other, to discuss ideas and make each other better. Same thing as a mastermind, right? But a board of advisors is something that you would find in Entrepreneur, Forbes, Inc. magazine, Bloomberg. Go Google it. See how to develop a board of advisors, why you need a board of advisors. Go look to see where well, you'll first notice that we're right there at the top. I've done no SEO, zero SEO, because we chose the right brand under the right context for the right reason. And my spear sticks at the wall regardless. So the very number one step is, what are you doing and what is the sharpest tip of the spear that you can conjure so that it makes your job easier? Because if your brand never sticks to the wall, it's going to be really difficult to grow it. But if it sticks every time, the first time, makes things a lot easier. So ask me what I do for a living.
What do you do for a living?
Other than being professionally good looking. No. Have you ever heard of a board of advisors?
Of course.
In what context?
In context from high-level corporations and businesses, publicly traded companies, so forth.
So I own boardofadvisors.com.
Wow.
I said nothing. You said everything. See, it's an immediate association with what they already know. Someone has built all the credibility. Somebody has done all the work for me. And what I did is choose carefully. Now, helping people do that, I think, in business, many times they haven't done it right. So it's an immediate conversation and value on the way in the door. So what is this thing? How do we make it more clear? How do we make it stick better? How do we choose the right name, the right URL, the right brand, the right logo? How do we not get too creative? And how do we strip away everything that's confusing so that when we talk about it, because most people can't talk about it well, not even their own thing, how can we make it so simple no one can forget? Sometimes simple is better. No socks is better.
Mm-hmm. I know that's not.
Right? No socks, no underwear, no hair on the back. You only look, the camera's right there. I only need the hair in the front.
That is true.
Right?
That is true. that was amazing. That was like some really incredible knowledge, and like, wow, my mind's blown right now. So taking that concept of branding.
Do you say that when everybody does that?
No, not at all. Like that was really amazing.
I'm going to ask
Like if you're at home listening to this,
I'm going to ask the camera guy.
If you're at home listening to this, this is by far, you guys are getting $1 million worth of advice right here, without a doubt. So
example, guy comes to me, LTV numbers, BA member, been in BA. He's coming up on his anniversary. Been in BA, built out a platform, LTV numbers. What do you think that means?
Loan to value.
Well, it's
I was in the mortgage industry, so
loan to value is, again, there's confusion, right? LTV numbers is the lifetime value of the customer.
Got it.
In a marketing context. Now it's but it's also something else in another context, and maybe something else somewhere else, right? So what he's actually doing is helping these companies make decisions through the data. So it is a data-driven mechanism that he brings to the table. So what's the best way to make a decision in business or life? Have the information. The answer is a data-driven answer. You have the facts, because facts don't care about your feelings. You know who says that? The big podcaster, your buddy.
Oh, Sean Kelly?
Oh, maybe he says it too. The Republican guy. The, what's his name? Jewish guy.
No way.
Facts don't care about your feelings because the data gives you the answer. So we turned that into, his whole brand was transformed from LTV numbers to driven. So DRIV.IN. Done. Over. Put that on a hat. Put it on a cup. Are you driven?
That's great.
Are you driven?
I'm very driven.
Really? Is your business driven?
My business is very driven.
Is it numbers driven?
It could be better numbers driven.
See?
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm going?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So I ask 3 questions. I give him 3 questions to ask. When he's working, because he deals with a decision-making party in that business. Are you driven? Yeah, I'm driven.
Yeah.
We just went through it. But we get down to, is your business driven by numbers and data? Because if it isn't, we need to talk. Or it could be way better, right? It's funny how questions create guided conclusion, which helps that spear stick to the wall.
Great. That's great. Phenomenal. That is so high level. Now, based upon that,
by the way, guys, he said this was like a coffee thing. and I have not had a cup of coffee. Do you see how tricky this is?
Yeah.
Here's what it is. Normally, everybody gets coffee. Everybody gets coffee. He is not going to get, he wants every edge on this conversation because if I get coffee, this shit's going to the next level.
Exactly. All right. So a lot of people who are listening to this are, at BA, the level of success, the entrepreneurs there, they've reached a very high level. They're very successful. They're pushing forward. But there are people out there they're good entrepreneurs. They're not great. They're not phenomenal. And I like to say, like there are people who chase the stage, and then there are people who become the stage, right? They've reached that level of success, like yourself, where you're able to give such wisdom and guidance because again, you're recognizing these patterns, you have this knowledge. Where does that transformation happen? Where does that moment happen where you go from chasing the stage to becoming the stage? Like, what does it take to reach that point where you're not just chasing, but you now can step into a different
it's
persona?
value. Patrick Bet David did it the best. Value attainment. Beautiful. So a lot of members even come to me and they say, it's actually very interesting. I want to be on a stage. I joined BA. I want to be on a stage. Get me on a stage. Oh, okay. That's easy. But my question to you is, how valuable are you? Because based on your value, that's the stage you get on. Right?
Very true.
Yeah. It could be that 5-gallon bucket in your garage that we turn over and you go step on it for a while. That could be your stage if you have no value. So what we have to look at is, how have you built value over time? Because value doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time, and it happens through experience, and it happens by paying people and attention. You can't pay attention if you didn't pay. It's impossible. What's the fastest way to get someone's attention?
Cut them a check.
Run it through your pocket, right? Now you have all their attention. I mean, it increases the learning curve faster than any other strategy transaction out there. So getting to a point where somebody could be valuable on a stage and then making an introduction where they go, oh my God, I want all of my people to hear that message, right? It's never about the other person. It's always about you. You have to own it. So if that person came to me and said, Mike, I have actually put together something. It's 37 slides. It started out as 137. I boiled it down to 37. I might get it to 27. And there's one word on each slide with a extremely rich graphic that sometimes is so good, I don't even need the word. I might even delete them. And it allows me to visually guide a person, a group, an audience through an experience that I've had in life that has taught me how to make myself and my family completely free financially and physically, healthier than I've ever been. My marriage is great. My wife actually loves me. My kids, I get to spend time with them. My bank account is working for me right now because I understand money because of this hell that I went through. And I actually feel good about it. Is there anybody I should share that with? You know what I say? Everybody. Send it to me. Did you record? Oh, Mike, by the way, I not only practiced it a few times, I practiced it 100 times. And here's the interesting part. I learned something every single time I did it to make it better. He didn't ask me for, he, whatever, did not ask me for a stage. They inspired me to put them with the best relationship, the best day. Matter of fact, I want to kick a door down to people I don't even know because they are going to make me valuable as soon as I walk them through that door. That's how you get what you want. Be valuable. Invest in you. All I do is invest in people. You know why? Because they don't even invest in themselves. I only invest in people full time, every day, all day, many times on the weekend, many times at 11 or 3 a.m. or whenever you call. And I get up and I'm walking to the restroom and I say, oh, dude, I'll answer, right? Because if I invest in people when they won't even take the time to invest in themselves, it'll make them more valuable and then we can get more done. But at a certain point, if I can get them to even invest in themselves, now we have something. Some people, that's easy. Some people have already done it. Some we have not cracked the coconut yet, and then they're a natural. And some are never, ever going to do it because they want to be handed whatever it is they think they deserve. No one deserves anything. Life isn't fair. You're not going to get what you deserve. You are not going to get what you deserve. If you think you're going to get what you deserve, I can guarantee you are not. But if you work your ass off, you're going to get everything you sometimes don't do. It starts working so well, you start looking around going, I don't even know how I did this. Like, babe, I put some money over there and it turned into X. I don't even know how that happened, right? Because you worked your ass off. You met the right people. You made the right moves. And sometimes you just copied somebody that knows more than you.
True.
It all goes back to being valuable and investing in yourself. That's why I think PBD got it right. Valuetainment. You get more valuable when you listen to him because he gives you value. Think about this. I got a question for you. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So I walk in the room. Give me any product. What do I sell? What do I do? What do I sell? Not board of advisors, anything.
Rolex watches.
Rolex. Mike, I like your watch.
Thank you.
Can I see it?
Absolutely.
No, I want to see it.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Oh, I actually like this. I don't have an AP. How's that feel?
Looks good.
Dude, that looks good too.
Yeah, sure.
I like that. Right? Why don't you take that, wear that for a little while? Can I wear this for a little while?
Absolutely.
Now, if you ever wanted one of those, I could get you one of those.
Okay.
Do you know how much it would be?
On this particular piece, retail or?
Doesn't matter. XYZ number.
Okay.
Right?
I'm interested. I'm listening.
You're interested, but the conversation's going in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because now I'm trying to sell you.
Mm-hmm.
If I had left it with go wear that for a while, I'll wear this for a while, we're bonding.
Yep.
I'm giving you something. You're giving me. We're sharing something.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good feeling.
Yes, it is. Puppy dog clothes.
But it's not a good feeling to then move it to a sale.
Mm-hmm.
You don't meet people and go right for a sale and a transaction.
Very true.
It's like walking up to a girl and saying, you're attractive. Would you like to go to bed? It doesn't work.
No.
But if you invest in them and you help them, you're going to get everything.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to slow it down a little bit. Remember, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. If we're a little slower, you get everything. You take that, you were, what? Now, I trust you now, don't I?
100%.
So you love the fact that I trust you.
Yep.
We developed something over a slow period of time. A year later, I could ask any favor. I could probably sell you anything, but you got to do it the right way. You can't always walk into a room trying to sell a room, an elevator, a car, a boat, a train, a plane, whatever. Be valuable to people. Invest in people. How can you help? And here's the thing. What you really should be asking, If I ask you how I can help you, you know what I'm thinking in my head? I'm not even waiting for your answer. My mind instantly goes to, I am competing with myself within milliseconds on conjuring an idea that's so valuable that no matter what comes out of your mouth, I have a better idea.
You do that all the time. And you're
But I'm not making it up.
And you're really good at it.
But I'm not making it up.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Because part of it is, I want to be as valuable to you. I don't want to just meet you there. I want to be as valuable to you as quickly as possible so you never forget me. Now I've done something for you. We've had a valuable conversation. I leave you with an idea you weren't even thinking of before. Who does that? Anybody can do it. They just got to look at the conversation differently. Stop trying to sell people on your stuff. Now, at a certain point, there's a time for the sale. You know why?
The rules of the universe.
The time for the sale is when you're out of time. Do you know how that works?
Mm-mm.
The event's coming up. You're either going to be there or you're not. It's that simple. There's no more time. You've got to make a decision. Are you coming?
Oh, I'll be there.
But that's the has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Events next week. I want you there. We've had great conversations, but now you got to make the decision. Or the person that you need most is on the other side of the calendar, right? There's a thing. Time will create compression to where there has to be a decision. Or you miss that window and there's another time. And sometimes you have to be okay actually with that, because that first window may be the smallest window and the next one may be bigger and the next one. And that window. So what you do is you begin to understand the value of a relationship, and you may say, it's like an investment. Remember, we invest in people, not things. If I wait a year, it'll be 10 times as valuable. I'll wait a year. And then more valuable to them, more valuable to me. It just works better. It's a dance. Do you like to dance?
I love the dance.
I always wanted to break dance. I just broke shit when I tried.
Got it. Wow. We got a lot of value here today, guys. Mike, how can people reach out to you? How can they find you?
Well, we're doing a push-up contest tomorrow from 12 to 3. If you go to pushup.com, you can register. You can jump on. You got to have your camera on. I'll have my camera on. And we're just going to do push-ups. Whoever can do the most push-ups from 12 to 3 tomorrow on camera.
It's true. I know you didn't like going to the gym, so you started doing all the push-ups every day, all day, to avoid going to the gym and keeping your strength up. I remember that conversation about a year ago.
Well, I was so busy because I was so clear on what I wanted to accomplish that I bought the little push-up things, put them beside my desk. Then I bought some little, dumbbell things. Now what I find is I actually perform better at work because I get my blood flowing.
Mm-hmm.
I am more clear too. And when the stress hits, I am less stressed, because I think entrepreneurs put themselves under stress by design so that they perform. But there's also this weird aspect of, I can take more. And before you know it, it sometimes gets unhealthy. And you're starting to become fascinated with how much stress you can put on yourself, but it doesn't always mean that it's healthy. So I like the fact now that it gives me a little bit of a healthy edge when sometimes I'm maybe putting too much pressure on myself. And it's a good little routine, How can they get in touch with me? It's super simple. So you can go to boardofadvisors.com to take a look at the actual brand. You can go to bainvite.com if you want to get an invitation. This is the interesting part. So Let's say they love you, Michael Fomkin, and they saw you part of BA somewhere, and they're like, I want to talk to Michael. It's more valuable to go to bainvite.com to get an invite to board of advisors to talk to you than to actually reach out to you. Do you know why?
Throwing that spear.
Usually they are not strategic in the way they approach you. So what we do, if they go to bainvite.com, they will get a scheduler that allows them to put themselves on our calendar. We will begin to interview them and we will find where they are valuable. And then we will make that introduction to said party to create a conversation that actually hits the calendar, that actually people show up to, and we will help them be valuable to Michael Fomkin, not come to the table needing something from Michael Fomkin, but become valuable on first point of contact in that conversation. So Michael actually loves the fact that we introduced you to them, right? And so not only do you love it, they feel better about it. So bainvite.com is the best gateway to creating the conversation with anyone and everyone that they might know or might not know. All you got to do is get your invite.
This is amazing. I've invested multiple 7 figures in masterminds. I've literally gotten more value sitting here with you for the past 30 minutes than at some like other places I've been to. Guys, I want to thank Mike Calhoun. Thank you so much for being here today. This is VisionCraft, and
you got a new watch out of the deal too.
I know, and I got a new watch out of the deal, guys. So not a bad deal. All right, guys. Thank you, and make sure you click that subscribe button and follow us online. This is VisionCraft, Coffee in the Green Room with
brother.
Mike Calhoun.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.